Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals, your weekly dive into all things Nintendo with a couple of friends. Tonight, it's Podcast Day. The day we are recording is Podcast Day, a holiday not made up for the promotion of podcasts. It's just a fun time to talk about podcasting and talk about podcasts. So that's what we're going to talk about in addition to all of our usual stuff, including games we're playing, the latest in Nintendo news, some new rumors swirling about, and, of course, community submitted questions and topics. We're talking all of that and more. As I mentioned, and actually I already mentioned that in the like cold open. But Podcasting Day has been a huge success. If everybody out there hasn't already checked out podcasts from our friends, including our pals over at All In, a Nintendo podcast, Off the Wah, the Gamer Girl podcast, and Gaming Corner, and several of our other friends are all celebrating, but there have been a lot of cool announcements, and so check those out if you haven't already. And if you want to be involved in this whole awesome community, you can check out all of the Discords that each of these podcasts hosts. Check out our Discord. There are links to several of, and you can connect with several people in our Discord that do podcasting, and it's a lot of fun. Links to our Discord and all of our social medias are in the description of the episode, as always. And while you're out there looking, you might as well check out our Patreon, patreon.com/NintendoPals, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show and the chaos that ensues from us. Ensues from us? That doesn't grammatically make sense. Can I, redo that take? For as little as $1, you can support the show and the chaos that it produces. That makes more sense. We produce the chaos here.
But you just said the show produces the chaos.
Gosh dang it. I give up, Micah. You should do the intro announcements. Well, speaking of Mike, I'll let you take this. You want to tell the fine people what we're doing here today?
Doing a podcast.
What we try and do each and every episode?
Yeah, podcast.
Yes, but through the podcast, we are trying to...
of course. Try to take over the world.
Yes, we got there. That was the world. It's a little circle.
What was the motion afterwards? It's like a rainbow over it.
We're taking it over. Over the world. We're gonna try to take over the world, and I'm saying it in such a happy, nice voice that it sounds really cool.
You gotta do the over and then the world, not the world and then the
over the world. Hey, do you know how you do that? 5-star reviews. 5-star reviews helps us to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts and podcasts in general. We should be the top-rated podcast in the world. We could do it. If you ask everybody you know to leave a 5-star review for Nintendo Pals, even if they've like never listened to the show, you can do that unless it's Spotify. Spotify actually makes you listen, which is probably a good
Oh,
feature.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you can leave
It's
five
actually
star reviews.
a very reasonable thing.
You can leave 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, and Audible. All those places let you leave 5-star reviews, and you can make us the most 5-star reviewed podcast in the world, thus helping us take over the world. We're coming for you, Joe Rogan. Let's go.
Is he
Let's
is he the most popular?
probably, maybe. Let's go now to the first segment of our show because I don't know. We're however many minutes in. We've lost everybody that's like, I just want to go. Yeah, they're just like, I just want to go straight into the Nintendo stuff. I don't want to hear all their advertisements for their Patreon. And what you playing? Why did we change it so you're in charge of the soundboard? So
I mean, it sounded like that's what you wanted me to do.
What have you been playing?
Just go right.
Well, you should probably just go right to it. And you're like, okay.
You didn't.
What have we been playing lately, Micah? What you been playing lately?
Not too much, actually. Classic.
Almost like you're in a
non-Nintendo
phase.
Well, I just haven't played mini games at all. I haven't played Splatoon yet because I'm going to play it this weekend for the Splatfest.
Ah.
And I did play Rocket League once or twice.
I've been seeing you on a lot of since you haven't been playing a lot of games, you say, which is just a dirty lie. But how about let's talk some Nintendo games? I've seen you on Helldivers every day. Every day. It feels like every day. It's like Micah is playing Helldivers. How's that?
It's a pretty good game. Although it's a little more difficult when the bumper in your controller just falls right out. I still need to get it fixed. It's been broken for like 2.5 weeks.
Oh yeah. Glasses
Like you just pop it back in and you're good.
Sorry, for those not watching the video version, I am aggressively cleaning my glasses on the side here. I'm like, glasses are perfect while Micah's breaking his controller on screen. Like I said, chaos produced.
Also, my other bumper is also definitely broken in there.
Wait, is that your Pro controller?
Something like that.
No, it's an Xbox controller.
That came with my Oculus Rift like 8 years ago.
Yeah. Dang. You should just play with the Oculus Rift controllers. Those are probably my favorite controllers, form factor wise. I've talked about it before. They're comfortable. Well, that's cool. I have not actually played that much this week either, besides for stream.
Huh.
And so I've been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. A lot. When I say I haven't been playing that much, I've been playing like 3 or 4 hours a day of Zelda for different challenges. Thank you. I also played a couple of, or specifically three games that cost $2 on the eShop.
$2 each?
Yes. It's The Amazing Chicken Adventures, which was
sounds pretty good.
As bad. It was broken and there's not clear purpose. It ran at horrible frame rate. Sherlock Purr, and it's a search and find game that was definitely a mobile game, and that was just ported to Switch. And it's horrible. It was so bad. I had to like sit here and remember it because I deleted it. I deleted it after playing. I was like, this is horrible. It was a terrible game. Nobody should play.
Do you still have Paper Bad? Or did you delete that too?
I'm fairly certain I deleted it. I mean, I could still re-download it, but it was on par with Paper Bad. But Paper Bad at least had some entertainment value for
It was
for
bad in a way
the
that was entertaining
yeah,
for a
kinda.
minute.
Yeah. Sherlock Purr, which first off makes me angry in just the title. How could you
I
say
assume there's a
Sherlock
cat in
Purr?
there.
Yeah, it's because you play as a cat, kind of. There's a cat. You're looking at like a room that's in a box that you can like shift between, and then you just have to find the things on the bottom of the screen. It says find this, and then the cat will move towards that thing, kind of. He doesn't move to it exactly, but he's like an animated cat with a huge head, and just kind of does this like not really an animation. It's really low quality. It's very low quality. But it just makes me mad from the title. How could you call a game Sherlock Purr? Sherlock Holmes is right there. This is easy
I
pickings.
go, that's the first thing I thought of as well.
Is it?
It would
Yeah.
have been better as like Sherlock Holmes or something.
Yeah, wouldn't it? So there's that. Um those games were bad. They were bad. They were not fun. They didn't provide like any entertainment value to me. But the last game, super epic, The Entertainment Wars, was
Nice.
actually a good game from the bit that I played of it. You play in a dystopian future where the game industry has been taken over by horrible, crappy mobile games. Maybe I was just feeling angry at the previous games I played, and it just was like talking about how they're designed to be addictive, and they've taken fun out of games and are using it to control the masses. But you are teaming up. You play as a raccoon that rides a llama.
I
The
like it so
llama
far.
the llama does not have a llama face. It has like a emoji smiley face essentially. It's very round and weird looking. Looks kind of alien. Um and the corporation is literally run by anthropomorphic pigs. Cuz the pigs at the of the game industries. And it is not subtle in making fun of these like horrible games, and you're just running through an office. It's a beat 'em up Metroidvania style game. You're running through an office and you beat up office workers that are trying to stop you.
Sounds like my kind of game.
And there was a point where I wanted to get to a chest, and it was behind a locked wall, and your player
The
character's like,
wall was locked.
yeah, it was like because it's a 2D game. It's just like this purple glowy wall. It's like I don't know how to get past this. Maybe that painting on the wall would help you do it. And I actually sent you the link for that painting on the wall because I was like, hey, I need this link so that I could play it on
Oh
stream.
yeah, I never even looked at it.
You didn't look at it.
No,
Um.
you're like ignore this, and I took that to heart, so I did.
So
Now
I
I'm gonna go look at it.
yeah I scanned the QR code and it took me to like Flappy Pig, which is like
Oh
a
my goodness, that's incredible.
a creation of the game or like a recreation of the game Flappy Bird. This is this is in on my actual phone, and I had to beat that to get the code to unlock the door in game.
It's $5 to continue and $5 to save your score.
Yeah, because the game is within the dystopian world of this like free to play bad game company. Anyways, it's just like that's such a creative little idea for a $2 game. I was like, man, they went all out with this. That mic is
How
playing it
loud
on the
is this
side.
clicking?
It's very loud. It's very loud.
I would stop, but I'm one away from the goal. I'm the best. Wow. All these new record things popping up. That was fantastic.
And then it crashes and says something like error code, blah, blah, blah. And that was the pin code that I needed in game to get through the door.
Verify all your system stuff or send error reports, all cost money.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's very funny. it was a surprising hit. So everybody should check out Super Epic: The Entertainment War. Besides that, been playing obviously Tears of the Kingdom. I'm doing several challenges in that. Everybody should check out Andros 1, March Mayhem, streaming every day in March. With that, Micah, why don't we jump out of what we've been playing? Let's talk some Nintendo news. Man, I gave you so much time. I gave you so much time on the bumper.
Oh yeah.
I paused.
We've made it. We made it to the Nintendo news segment.
I paused and like looked at you like, all right, hit him with the bumper.
Too busy looking at the news.
Oh well, let's start here with a very exciting news item. Every level in Super Mario Maker for the Wii U has officially been beaten. That is right. You can check out the website ismmbeatenyet.com. Make sure you type that in properly. I don't want you getting to any weird websites.
Is MM beaten?
It's,
That makes. I assume there'd be like.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is smmbeatenyet.com.
Okay.
Don't go to ismmbeatenyet.com because I don't know what that is, and I don't want you to.
Well, now I kind of want to know.
We've got.
Can't reach this page. Apparently, did something wrong.
The final level was The Last Dance, and it was achieved by Kaizihin with 24 days remaining before the server shut down.
Oh, I didn't realize that all those servers are shutting down too.
Yep. And it says, we're not done yet. There's still an entire other game with plenty of uncleared levels. I feel like that's unreasonable.
There's going to be so many more levels.
Yeah.
I mean, more people playing, but...
Yeah, you can see like legacy. You can see most clears on the leaderboard, and there's a lot of people that have cleared. Schwaz W6803 4,736 first clears. That's insane.
4,736, you say?
Yeah, that's how much it shows.
That does seem like a lot for like first clears, especially.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
congrats to the entire
or something.
Yeah, congrats to the entire Super Mario Maker community. This is a tremendous accomplishment and very cool. Very, very cool. Yep.
So you got to say about that?
That's all I got to say about it. You have anything to say about it?
Nope, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Hit us with our next news item.
Princess Peach Showtime has gotten its first review for Famitsu. They got 33 out of 40.
It's out today.
And it's also out today.
Yep. We'll see. Well, I guess we'll have more to talk about with that coming weeks.
They even got a Smash Bros. Spirit event for it.
Yeah.
Mixed with Mario Wonder.
That's pretty cool, I guess.
And also icons. You might as well just get all the Princess Peach Showtime stuff.
Yeah.
Out of the way at once.
All right.
Which I don't know. Do you have to have played these games to get them now? Or is that just for certain games?
Oh, I don't remember if that is in effect or not. Or if that was just a rumor. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure I hopped on it for one of the games. It was like one of the NSO games or something, though.
Well, that's lame. I still don't like that. I still think that that's dumb. And there's not really anything else to talk about in the news, is there? Am I missing something?
Yeah, not really. It's pretty light.
Pretty light this week, huh?
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom won some awards from someplace or something.
Yeah, but that's the norms.
Yeah, we get things like that every week.
Yeah. um. I don't. I'm gonna just say that's it. Let's move out of news and let's head over to the to where you can prep the bumper for the rumor mill. We'll get it. We'll get it eventually. We'll get it eventually.
I was just so ready that time. Too ready, some might say.
So what do we got cooking in the rumor mill, Micah?
Well, rumors, obviously. It's right there in the name. Actually,
I wanted to talk.
Anything.
Well, I wanted to talk more about the Switch 2 rumors. The rumors have been swirling for a while about there being a new system in the works and that it would come out sometime this year, and now it's saying now people are saying early next year, which
because it got delayed, but it was going to be coming out this year.
Mark my words, I predicted it first next year.
Did you
no, probably not first, but I definitely said 2025 back in 2023,
and I definitely at least agreed with you.
Yeah. Micah,
look at that. Do you get these Princess Peach icons? And I've never even played the demo.
Oh, so confirmed. You can get them.
Here it is. Play and redeem points for rewards. What is this? Oh no, there's other unrelated things.
Okay, so
yeah, play Super Mario World while the event is active to be able to redeem points for icon elements related to this game.
Oh, what? What?
I haven't played this while it's active though, and oh no, here it says, yeah, play it. So Super Mario World, you gotta play that one while the event is active.
That's so dumb. That is like the dumbest extra requirement to throw in.
It is really weird, but at least it's for something that's on NSO.
Maybe that's what it's trying to do, is encourage more people to use NSO, but that just seems gross.
It's so
that just seems scummy.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask your thoughts on do you think that we will see leaks for the next Nintendo system before they come out?
That's a good question. I don't even remember if we saw links for the Switch before it came out. I remember people were saying
I think they're
fake leaks.
Yeah, I think there was some accurate leaks, but in the ocean of leaks, you didn't know, like, it wasn't until after that you would even know, right?
Yeah.
So to that point, why does Nintendo care so much to keep it a secret? I've been thinking about this, like thinking about how they could just they could just say, yeah, we're working on the next system and we're looking at sometime in 2025, right? And would that harm anything?
Yeah, because why would you buy a Switch if you know that the next console's coming out next year? And odds are, potentially with the next console coming out, the Switch might even get a price drop or something.
So it's to prevent people from stopping buying the current console.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. But
that makes sense, but at what cost? Because now people are going to be like, I feel like people are ravenous for news about the next system, and they're acting like it doesn't
So
exist.
it's a
So,
win-win.
so
Now people will be
speculation,
talking about it.
speculation up here, and the next system's probably going to be like, I'm just worried we're going to get another Switch Pro, but it's actually an OLED kind of situation, and everybody's going to be angry for nothing. You know what I mean? I just, I guess I see it from the point like they don't want people to not buy a Switch, but I don't know. Like, would that stop people from buying Switches? Like the average consumer.
Well, I certainly wouldn't buy a Switch.
Yeah, but you already have one. Like the average consumer that would buy a Switch in 2024 is still going to buy a Switch in 2024, regardless of if another system is coming out next year. Because they're buying it for some game they've heard about. And there's not really any like system selling games. So I don't know. It just feels like there's not really a point to withholding the info. At least to say like, yeah, we got this, and I think especially so if you go next system's coming and it's going to be backwards compatible, then people will still confidently buy this year's games,
Yeah.
which makes
As
me
long as
believe
backwards
it's
compatible.
yeah, which makes me worried it's not. But who knows? Who knows? So I just was thinking about that, like with the amount of things that get leaked early. Nintendo does a pretty good job, but
Yeah,
still.
Nintendo tries very hard to not let things leak.
Yeah, but why? Like, at the end of the day, there's just like, is there any point to not having things leak? Are they doing it on purpose themselves? That would be so like 4D chess genius.
Them leaking it themselves?
Yeah, leaking games to like generate buzz. Oh, huge data mine
I
reveals
feel
that
like
we're
that.
getting a new Mario game, and everybody will be like, "Whoa!" And then big news, and then Nintendo just happens to drop their direct or whatever, and it's like, "Oh, whoa!"
I feel like that would make more sense if Nintendo had leaks more often.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I'm like starting to question everything. Like, why do why do we keep these things secret? Why not just have like a
See,
completely open development process and style? Like, oh, this is what this team's working
just in
on,
case
and this
something
team's working.
goes wrong. Also, I
Then
don't
you
want to
say
know
that.
about games. I don't want to know about games 6 years out.
I mean, yeah. There's a part of me that's like, I really like hearing about the game, and then it comes out like within 6 months, which Nintendo's really good about doing. But I also, for games that is not the case, like Tears of the Kingdom, um, Metroid Prime 4, it's like I kind of wish it was just more open about what's happening. Like, oh, we're working on
Yeah,
this, we're entering this stage. Indie games do this a lot, right? Like the roadmap.
yeah, because they don't want people to forget about it.
Yeah. So
They
why do
need
you?
all that
I,
publicity.
I,
No one's going to be forgetting that. Like, oh, I totally forgot that Nintendo's making another Legend of Zelda game. I mean, everyone knows Nintendo's
I
always working on a Legend of
yeah,
Zelda.
I just think that it would be cool if Nintendo did that. Like, they were just like, here's our roadmap for this game, and
They did that for uh, Breath of the Wild a little bit. Like, when we're bringing out these DLCs,
kind
that was
of,
kind of it.
yeah, that was kind of it. A
Splatoon
roadmap with
did
two
that a little
spots,
bit.
a roadmap with 3 spots.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, the other group that I feel like does a good job with this is Larian, and they were just like They're very like a very open development team. Also, Nintendo news. I heard today that they announced they are not
No
make.
Baldur's Gate 4, right?
Yeah, Larian is finished with Baldur's Gate. We're going to move away from D&D and we're going to start making a new thing. I'm
A new
shocked.
thing or Divinity 3?
Yeah, no, but wait, no, go back to Divinity.
It's like, yeah, I heard things about Divinity 3. Then maybe a new thing is, I think, the order of.
So no DLC, and I guess it's done now. Like they've reached their final
Yeah,
state.
I think so. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike the combat system of Baldur's Gate, but I would love Divinity 3
Divinity 3 in this
to
in
the scope of Baldur's 3
you yeah.
or Baldur's Gate 3.
You and me both, brother. I actually did not like Baldur's Gate 3's. Gosh, how do you say that? Where's the possessive go on that? Baldur's Gate 3's. That's right. It would be the apostrophe S on the 3. 3's combat.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
3's. I like want to put an S on the
Just
gates.
put one on every single one then.
Baldur's Gates 3's.
Baldur has multiple gates.
Baldur's Gates 3's combat. I did not like until I mean I didn't like it in early access, and it was really like not fun to me up until we played it for real on the actual launch. And I have fun with it now, but I still prefer Divinity Original Sins 2.
You just had so much flexibility in what game?
Divinity Original Sin 2. Combat.
Twos.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just. Yeah,
I like the action
just
point
a lot
system.
You could do in one turn, kind of. I guess.
Yes, the action
And you
point
could
system
change
felt
that up a lot.
felt more rewarding than the restrictive nature of tabletop D&D, right? Like it's because it's tabletop translated into a video game, which works, but it's definitely more designed for tabletop. And I think the action point system's better. Anywho, they're not making a Baldur's Gate 4 or like more D&D stuff, which is shocking to me, given that Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year, is like considered one of the greatest games of all time by many standards, and it's just like they're like, "Yep, we're done." Do you want to know why I think this is? I didn't read any articles, but they might have said why.
I've heard Hasbro / Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, I am going to guess it's the fact that Wizards of the Coast has just been run like garbage. They did a whole bunch of layoffs. I know at one point, Sven Vinks, the CEO of Larian, was, or the head of Larian. What is his job? I don't know. Sven. We'll just call him Sven. He's a great guy. Was like really sad. He posted that he was sad to hear about all the layoffs, and he's like, almost everybody that worked on Baldur's Gate 3 with us at Wizards of the Coast has been let go. And it's like,
yeah, I'd heard about that, which
is
kind of wild with how well it did.
Yeah. It's like I think they're walking away from it because they're like, we're not gonna. They've taken a very hard stance against the norms of the game industry, the AAA games industry, and one of those things that we saw this year was mass layoffs and just like cutting corners and doing all of these things. They've made a bunch of money business-based decisions that are leading to worse games, and then making tons of money and then just like hoarding it. It's like, it's really bad. So I don't know. Like I think that they don't want any part of that, and so they're like, we're bailing on Wizards of the Coast. That's my theory on that. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about this. I would like to see a Baldur's Gate 4. I like Baldur's Gate 3 a lot, and it would be fun to come back with these characters post. I don't know.
Yeah, good luck, future company who has to try and live up to Baldur's Gate 3, though.
I don't think they're going to make. I don't think they're going to do it. I just think Baldur's Gate 3 is the end. Baldur's Gate 4 isn't happening. Uh, yeah. All right, let me see here. Hasbro is interested in growing its gaming output and leaning on the Baldur's Gate franchise. This is from CEO of Hasbro. 2024 is about returning consumer products to profitability, investing for long-term momentum in games, and driving significant improvements in Hasbro's bottom line. This isn't an earnings call, so but this just sounds so gross. In short, we're putting all the right pieces together to keep investing in our growth initiatives while expanding ways for. We expect a long tail into 2024 and beyond for this mega hit. That's.
Well, they should just do the Skyrim thing and re-release it every year, remastered.
That's what's gonna happen, you know. Yeah, I almost am. I almost am sad by this news because just. But I know Larian is going to make something awesome. Whatever comes next is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And now that they've done Baldur's Gate 3 and they have the pedigree, it's like their next thing is going to get the hype. Like Divinity 2, I think was pretty successful, pretty popular, but not to the level of Baldur's Gate 3. And now Divinity 3 can be to the level of Baldur's Gate 3 just based off of like, oh, I really liked their previous game they made.
All eyes on their next game.
Yeah. Yeah, similar to like Dark Souls, all the lead up to then Elden Ring, and like Elden Ring blew up, and that's like a completely new and unique IP. So, yeah.
But is it like a new IP?
It's just the same game.
Is it really though?
Is Divinity 3 or whatever they make next just going to be Baldur's Gate 3 again? I mean, because Baldur's Gate 3 is just an iteration of Divinity Original Sin 2. Like, souped up and enhanced and way nice looking. But it's all built on the same engine that was upgraded.
But then they had like constraints because they had to fit in with the D&D.
Yeah.
Gameplay.
Now we won't have constraints. Now they can do whatever they want.
On what their next game will be like.
Please make Divinity Original Sin 3. Okay, we've gone far into the realm of Nintendo news. Anything else we want to talk about with rumors?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, with that, we are going to jump on over to the community corner. I think you need another monitor.
I do. I was rearranging windows.
That was very slow.
I couldn't find it.
People checking down on the podcast. Did it end? What happened? All right. First question here comes from Presto from Off the Wall. Are you celebrating Podcasting Day? What's your favorite Nintendo podcast? Did we answer this question last week?
I think we answered that last week.
We did.
That sounds so familiar.
We did, and I went through my list of podcasts. You were like, I don't listen to podcasts. Mm-hmm. But are we celebrating Podcasting Day? Yes. We're recording a podcast right now. Mm-hmm. Pretty
And
cool.
I,
Not as
and
we're not
it's
going as
so
hard as
nice.
Off the Wall did though. Off the Wall has done so much that for today. It's very cool. But we are in a thing that should be live by the time this episode goes live.
Oh yeah.
A special musical number celebrating podcasting day. Excited for that to be out.
Yep. I'm excited. No offense to all the work that went into it. I'm sure it's very good, but I'm definitely not going to go listen to myself in that.
You're gonna skip past that part.
Yeah, I just I know where I am, and I'm just gonna nope, right to the next.
Yeah, I don't think I particularly sing well, just in general. Especially not like show tune style singing. But I can fake confidence, and I think that's half. I think that's half of a performance right there.
I at 5 in the morning went and sat out in my car with my laptop and my microphone to make sure that no one could hear me as I recorded it.
I didn't realize that
So
was basic.
that should go. That's my level of confidence in my singing.
Yeah.
So
What you should have done is just got everybody in your roommate's
dude, my
group.
like 3 roommates.
Yeah, just get everybody in there,
Funny.
and that
Just
way,
have them do it.
yeah, that way you don't even have to really do it. You can kind of be like, like that's how I get away when singing in a group. I just kind of
Exactly.
blend
Move
in.
my mouth
It's
some.
yeah, it's much easier in a group than
Sometimes I
solo.
just hum very lightly.
Yeah. So everybody should check that out. That's going to be over on the YouTube channel Off the Wall. So okay, then we got this question from Fedorable Will, who asks, if smell-o-vision were real, what Nintendo game would be the best smelling and which would be the worst smelling? What have you got for this one, Micah?
Well, mine's gonna be kind of weird, and there's definitely no bias involved at all. I'd probably go with Metroid Prime.
Would smell good?
Yeah. I mean,
What
there's
do
a
you think
lot
it
of
would
times
smell
they're just
like?
out in nature, and this
Yeah.
like got it's like drizzling lightly, and it's I don't know. It just seems they got those like glowy orange fruit things that you shoot and they explode, and they also drop healing items.
I kind
I
of feel
just
like you would.
imagine those things just all smell really good.
Well, I kind of feel like you could do this right now. If you just go get a motorcycle helmet, just put that on your head, and that's what it would smell like. Because the game you're inside a spacesuit.
Well,
I don't know
I'd
if
take
you've
it
like.
one step further instead of just smell-o-vision. If it was real, I guess is what I was mostly going towards. I just imagine it would smell very refreshing on these alien planets.
Yeah. Um. I can see that. Oh, I have to pause. We have. I have a child awake. Hold on. Hello, I'm back. Hopefully the TV on the
Everything
side
all
here.
good?
Yeah. So yeah, I had to step away for a bit. Are we still recording?
Heck yeah. I tried
Okay.
to stay mostly quiet, just so
So
our,
it would trim the silence.
trimming thing actually
Yeah.
works. Although I did talk a few times, so it's probably going to be really weird.
Yeah. So I had to bail for a second because daughter just got her tonsils removed this week, so she woke up. She's not feeling good, so just went and took care of that.
My tonsils removed.
You wish you had?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Are they still there?
Yeah.
I thought it was like.
I get canker sores a lot. Back around them. And there's no proof that they like really cause that or anything, but it seems like it'd be simpler.
Yeah, well,
you don't have to worry about getting tonsil stones either. You don't even have those tonsils. They're the unimportant tonsils.
True. Yeah, I am the solo parenting tonight while my wife is out shopping, grabbing She's actually grabbing medicine for, so she'll be back. But hopefully y'all can't hear the Spider-Man cartoon here on the side.
Spidey and his amazing friends.
Yeah, she loves that show.
Yeah,
So where were we? We were talking about smell-o-vision, right?
Yeah.
Let's come back into smell-o-vision.
Would smell fantastic.
What's the worst smelling game for you, Micah?
Super Mario DDR. I guess what do they call
Why?
it? DDR Mario mix. For two reasons. Because a bunch of people are dancing and probably sweating. And Waluigi.
It probably let's be real. Like Mario probably stinks. Probably a smelly guy.
And my thought before that was just any WarioWare game.
Yeah. that's a good pick. Any WarioWare game is gonna be stinky. Best smelling. I'm kind of debating between like I think Breath of the Wild would probably smell pretty good, like nature.
Oh, because of the nature, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Give me such a hard time with Metroid Prime. It's practically the same thing.
Yeah, except Link's not wearing a helmet. that's just the thing. He's not in a spacesuit.
Yeah, but it's a woman in the spacesuit, so that could be a plus for a lot of people.
Do you think Samus smells?
Saying that for
do you think Samus smells good?
Maybe.
I can't imagine she smells that good in a spacesuit. Like, there's no way.
Probably like a self-cleaning. It's like super advanced.
Yeah, it is super advanced.
A little ball. You don't think you can just wick away all that sweat?
Oh no, but we know that underneath she's wearing just like a rubber suit, which I don't know what's happening to all that sweat.
It's wicked away.
It's wicked away.
Future.
Unless it's not even rubber; it's some like advanced, like
yeah, exactly,
like rubber-like material.
Probably smells like oranges.
But that actually is a good segue into what I think my actual pick might be is Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think would smell really good. Got all the fruit trees.
Animal villagers.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably smell really good though.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And the ocean and the island, like just like a fruity island smell. That's what I think it would smell like.
Or I mean, depending on how hungry I am, something like Overcooked.
Yeah, well, you have recipes in Animal Crossing. So you make some yummy food. Yeah, I just imagine it smelling pretty good. Worst smelling game. WarioWare's such a good pick. But probably like F-Zero.
Yeah, I thought about that one.
Like it probably just smells polluted.
Although maybe it's future and their vehicles run on water or something.
Yeah.
They run on Febreze.
They run on Febreze. All right. Well, that's all we've got for the community corner this week. So, Micah.
Except Fedorba Will's answer.
Oh, yes. Let's go over his answer that he gave to the question he asked. Do you have it? I don't have it up.
Oh yeah. He says Pokemon would be the worst smelling. They've got too many animals everywhere, and who knows how often they bathe and where they poop.
Yeah,
very similar reason why Animal Crossing may be not so good.
Yeah,
and Paper Mario Sticker Star would be the best smelling because scratch and sniff. Got a point. Is scratch and sniff really that good smelling?
It would just smell like paper, which paper smells pretty good. Like everything would smell like paper. Yeah.
I feel like that kind of get old pretty quick.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I don't know what else what other answers we could give there. man, I feel like there's probably some really good answer that we're not thinking
Absolutely.
of.
I'm like racking my brain, and I can think of like 3 Nintendo games because I'm under pressure.
Yeah, that's how it goes, right? Maybe Kirby, like a Kirby game, because it's like everything's named after food, like ice cream islands.
Maybe Mario Odyssey, that one planet or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that probably smells really good. Just smells
But
like something's cooking all the time.
yeah, but a lot of other levels and things would not smell good.
Yeah, I think Kirby. I think Kirby would be good. Maybe that's what I'll pick. What's happening over there?
It's just getting kind of dark.
Oh. So that's
Decided to just sit like this.
nice. So that's what we've got going on for Smell-O-Vision. And I think that's what we got going on for the Community Corner. That's about gonna do it for Community Corner. Hey, if you want to help us make this show last a little bit longer, ask some questions in the Community Corner. You can ask questions through our social media or over on Discord. We appreciate it. And we forgot to ask a last week we ask you question. So how about we ask another question? Didn't get any. So let's ask a question for next week. My question for you guys is, which... Well, no, I don't. I was gonna say which Mario is best, but we already had like a whole episode where we debated that. It's a good question, Micah. What's your best question?
I still think the best question would be to ask what question we should ask.
What question? Okay, I can go with this one. Which generation of Pokemon is best?
I mean, obviously 2. I think we all already know that.
Oh. Yeah. And how are we going to ask this question? Are we talking about the games, or I was thinking more Pokemon, like the Pokemon in that generation? So tell me which one you like the designs of the best.
Still, obviously 2.
That's the question. Which generation of Pokemon, the Pokemon designs, which generation of Pokemon designs is best? Hit us with your answers. Maybe give us what you think is the worst, too. With that, Micah, I think we're good to head to the last segment of our show. Let's talk on the PAL topic. That one sound bumper that
Page is loading.
Holly. Today's PAL topic. I thought it would be fun to have a little discussion about podcasts. So Micah and I have been podcasting for 4 years. Coming up on 4 years. I believe May is when our 4-year podcast anniversary will be. And we are like really we're veterans now, right? It's funny because I just still feel like the show is still we're still under construction as we try new things. We're just like constantly trying new things, trying new ways to record, trying new ways to put out what we make. And as part of that whole process, I'm sorry. My train of thought was going on a path, and I completely derailed it. What I wanted to talk about was podcasting. So let's talk about that. Nintendo Pals, as a podcast, we came up with by listening to other podcasts. And we listened to, and by we, I mean me, because Micah doesn't listen to podcasts. You're not really a podcast consumer. You're a podcast
Yeah, not so
maker,
much.
but not a podcast consumer. Uh, but I listened to podcasts and was like, hey, I could do something like this. This would be fun. And then now here we are sitting as one of the best Nintendo podcasts in the world. I think we can confidently say that we're constantly in the top 10 of search results.
That's all that really matters.
That's all that matters. All right. One of the best Nintendo podcasts in the world. I wanted to ask you, Micah, if we need to expand. Is it time to expand? And who or
moon.
what would we do? Who would we have join, or what would we have us do to expand? So, okay, I'm talking. I'm dancing around the topic here that I wanted to talk about, and that is for podcasting day. Off the Wah started a brand new like conglomerate. Is that what you would call it when a group of podcasts get together? They started a family of podcasts using it with other podcasters in the community, and that's super cool, super fun. And we have lots of friends that are part of podcasts networks of sorts, like Carpool Gaming, formerly You, Me, and Capri, I think is what it was called.
That sounds about right.
But Carpool Gaming is where they're what they are now, and they've got, I don't know how many podcasts, a lot. I'm not going to try and name them off the top of my head. I'll embarrass myself and forget one, and someone will be offended. But they've got a lot of podcasts that are all kind of under that one umbrella. The Nintendo Dads, which started as just one, but while I've listened to them, they've picked up. They've got Retro Logic in their family of podcasts. They've got Xbox Game Pass, or Game Pass News, not Xbox Game Pass. Game Pass News. And I feel like, again, I'm not going to name them because I'm just going to forget which ones are which. But they're all part of like one family of podcasts. But Micah, you and I are not in a family of podcasts, and we've never really considered doing that. But who would we join, or who would we have join our
Joe
own
Rogan.
family? Yeah, we'll be part of the Joe Rogan experience. It's like we're in the Joe Rogan experience family of podcasts.
All the other Joe Rogan stuff, and then Nintendo.
Nintendo Pals. You can acquire me. I am available, says Monkey Thunder. That would be awesome. We still need to get you on the show at some point. That's for sure. See, I like in my head, what would I've thought about this before. It's like what would make sense for us is to have like a pals network, and it would just be other shows that are such and such pals, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I imagine for that we'd like pull maybe
Back to the board game pals.
Yeah, we always we talked about doing board game pals. But what about like PlayStation pals? Xbox pals?
A word for board games that starts with a P. It's just two P's.
More alliteration. Well, Nintendo pals doesn't.
Well, yeah, we already made that mistake once. We don't want to do it again. We should have spelt it with a P in front and then just said it was silent.
How about True Crime Pals? True Crime podcast. I thought it would be fun if there was a podcast for like, well, I don't want to sound sexist. I was like, there was like a female centric gaming podcast, and we called it Nintendo Gals. And that's just for the naming. I don't mean to like segregate our audience. Please don't cancel us. It's an idea. Podcasting pals. Now that's an idea. And then we just like we get guests from like all of the podcast buddies that we have.
I thought that would just be the group name, because then maybe like
Podcasting pals.
Nintendo pals, board game pals,
Part of the
all those other
podcasting pals.
pals.
The Pod Pals Network. Boom. Okay, but in all of those cases, none of those shows exist, and we wouldn't make those. It's like I can't make a PlayStation podcast. I know nothing about PlayStation.
The other people are for.
Yeah, we'd have to have other people in. And would we would we reach out like Off the Wah has done with the Gamer Girl podcast, or like the Nintendo Dads did? So there's like different routes for making these like podcast networks. First off, we're not announcing we're doing this. This is just like a fun thought exercise of sorts. And because at the end of the day, this is a lot of work. And I don't know if we're actually ever gonna really have the capacity to do this. But it's fun to think about, and I have thought about it. So if you go the Carpool Gaming route, where I feel like all of their podcasts are homegrown, where they find hosts and make a show within their community, the Nintendo Dads have acquired shows. That's how they've done it. But they've also worked with community making shows. What else? So there's like those two routes. So if we were to acquire shows, we'd be like, you're going to join our network. we will let's team up and make a network. Not we're going to force them to join our network. We're not Embracer Group here. Buy up everything and then lose it all. Who would you think would be a good, like what shows do you think would be a good fit to bring in?
I don't have a specific one in mind, but those sleep podcasts where they just talk really monotone so you can fall asleep. That's what we need.
Isn't that just our show? Just kidding. Just kidding. I don't talk monotone. Micah does sometimes.
Yes. I feel like I was trying to talk monotone and something got stuck in my throat.
Yes. Yes, I do. Yeah. I don't know. It would be cool to combine with so I still consider, even though these guys are already part of a different network, I still consider Retro Logic our podcast brothers. They are fantastic. Like, if we were to combine with anybody, that show would be one to get in the mix. And then of course All In. But we actually had conversations about this like back in the day. Dan, Seth, and I were like, what if we like all combined or something? And Seth was like, yeah, but Nintendo Pals and us like talk about the same stuff. I feel like you can't have two Nintendo focused podcasts within your network. However, that's a thing. That's a thing that happens. Gosh, thinking, what's the podcast?
I
network?
mean, with you entering your Nintendo phase, it could be perfect, though.
Entered my Nintendo phase. Oh my goodness. The Nintendo World Report. They have two shows that are both Nintendo focused shows, just with completely different hosts. And I don't know if there's at the end of the day, I don't know if there's much overlap in what they like. They talk about stuff, the same stuff, but I don't know how much their audience overlaps, right? Because like, why would you listen to both?
Why not?
Like already heard the news or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, like that's one reason that we probably wouldn't do something like this, is because we talk about there'd be like too much coverage, and you got to think, what are the benefits of doing that? I think for the groups that we've mentioned, it makes a lot of sense because their communities overlap so much already. that might might as well make it all under one roof, and then you can kind of pool resources together. It's one thing I really respect about carpool gaming and Nintendo Dads, because they've been going for a while. They have like a really cool system in place where they can kind of share Patreon funds to make cool things happen, cool projects happen, and that's cool. It's like a little small empire. Yeah, I think I like your idea though. We combine with Reggie. He's not doing anything right now. He retired way early too.
Yeah, he's probably bored.
Yeah. Okay, so now the question for you, or back on this topic: what if we were the ones to get acquired instead of doing the acquiring? We're being picked up by some group. Any groups come to mind that you think would be good to having? Wait. Back up. Yeah, we already said the Joker. I also wanted to mention, I think it would be really fun to combine with there are a couple of podcasts that I know of that are pretty standalone as well. And if I were to be in a network and be associated with other podcasts, these would be cool ones to do with. The name of the show. Oh my gosh. Again, my brain. I'm drawing
it. Don't name things.
Yeah. Communication Error with John Evo and Cheesy. Great show. And great hosts. I would love to work with them on something. And then I've always been a huge fan of the Nintendo Cartridge Society, and they're kind of on like an island. I don't see them interact with other podcasts too often. Kind of similar to us. I feel like we have a lot of podcast buddies, though. And like we've had lots of guests on the show, and we like to interact with the communities. Not that they don't. It's just that they're not. Does that make any sense?
Maybe.
So yeah. But again, Nintendo-focused shows. So you can't you don't want to like overlap, I think, in a network. But it might be fun to do something like, have you heard of Nebula?
In space?
Yeah, in space. No, it's a like streaming service that has a bunch of YouTubers that all kind of talk about. It's like a smart people channel. So you've got things like real life lore. One of my favorite shows, the Jet Lag the Game, is part of that. So it's kind of this like educational group, like all these YouTubers that were making their separate channels, and they all come together and they combined to make their own streaming service. That's so that they didn't have to like go other places. They get like a better cut from hosting it themselves. So something like that could make sense to have like to combine. These are all like things I think about sometimes. But if we were to be acquired, you want to be acquired by Joe Rogan. I think we need to be acquired by Nintendo Life. They don't have a podcast. Maybe they've since added one. Nope. They had one in the past, but they don't anymore. And it's like, hey, you're a news site. Be like a win-win. Get acquired by some, like you get access to the resources that a news site has, but also can promote going and checking out a website / the website can promote going and checking out your podcast. Yeah, Micah, you're just so. Whenever we talk about these things, Micah is just so like detached from podcasting. I'm just
thinking so hard about all these things.
No, you just you wouldn't have thought Nintendo Life. Do you even know what Nintendo Life is?
Of course I do. They're a news site, and they don't have a podcast.
Yeah, it's like Micah lives cast.
So much. I wonder that myself sometimes. But at the end of the day, and I'll be like, what did I do? What happened?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't even know.
He's a man of mystery. It's always fun to have these discussions where I talk about podcasting and I basically monologue. An
I
entire
definitely don't
episode.
look up other random things.
Reading about like, oh, what?
I got my one dark tab and one really light tab, so I hope you can see the difference when I'm tabbing between them.
Video version of the podcast is the best version of the podcast, by the way. Everybody needs to be checking that out. Anything else you want to talk about with podcasting? How do you feel about podcasting, Micah?
It's a thing.
Should we be acquiring other podcasts, or should we just kind of hang where we're at?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like there'd be a lot of effort that would go into acquiring other
Yeah.
podcasts.
Yep.
And you know how I feel about effort.
I feel the same about effort. Yeah, I just think it's, for us, it hasn't made sense. Maybe someday it will. So we're just going to continue to do the Nintendo Pals thing. Both Micah and I have been working pretty heavily on solo projects for a while now. Like, Nintendo Pals used to be our only thing we were doing, both of us, like extracurricular wise. But now this is like one of the things, because I've been putting in so much effort over on my personal YouTube channel and content creation over there for Andros 1. And I know you've been working on a game project, which, no announcements here. That's going to be far in the future. Games take a long time.
In the future.
Games take a long time to make. Yeah, so it's
especially when it's all done part-time.
Exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, if we were to combine with another show or like join a network of podcasts, it would have to be like something we could really easily do. And I think that's probably not going to happen. Or it would have to have something that have some like major benefit to doing. And there just really isn't. We've kind of just been cruising where we're at. But cruising where we're at while changing things. I mean, we went from one episode every like 2 weeks to an episode every week to 2 episodes every week to every day for a while there. We were releasing episodes every day to back to 1 episode per week. Trying new. Along the way, we've tried various ways of recording and formats for the show. So yeah, we're like experimenting within our little box. And quite frankly, we can't take over the world we can't be the number one podcast in the world if we have a family of podcasts with us. This is kind of a solo journey, I think.
Or we just acquire all of them.
Wait a second. Now there's an idea. We just go, well, you're part of our family of podcasts now.
Yeah.
You're part of our family of podcasts. Welcome to the Podcasting Pals. We're just starting this right now. Yo, Tebow, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Oh, appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Let's wrap things up here, Micah. This has gone on long enough, and I need to get back to backflipping across Hyrule. Micah, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitch at Micah Prime.
And you can find me gallivanting about over on Andros 1. I am going to be rating that right now. There are VODs available on YouTube. There's also edited videos available on YouTube. Twitch.tv/Andros1. Check it out. Andros1 on all the social media platforms. Seriously, I'm putting in so much effort over there. Way more effort than I'm putting here, which feels gross and not nice.
That's what he's telling me before we started.
No, I'm putting. We're putting in effort here too. We're putting in effort here too, people. We're talking about, oh, yeah, we're just leaving Nintendo Pals. That's not true. Nintendo Pals will continue, and we're continuing to grow, and we're hoping that you will stick with us along this journey as we continue to grow. Hit us up with feedback. Check out our social medias, Nintendo Pals on all listening platforms, and also we have a Discord. And let's close out here with a shout out to all of our fantastic Patreon supporters, which I have the list up Right. Now, we've got, of course, T-Bone, Nick, Fedorable Will, Monkey Thunder, Madison, aka Purple Riolu, Lava Plays, John Cummins, Lil Miss 7, Tim, aka Neoprime 33, aka Nindad number 4, Seth Sturgill, LPD, Spider Shan, Solo, and Mute Dog the Gamer. Thank you all so much for the support you give to the show. You guys have been our biggest supporters and helpers for the longest time. We really appreciate it. Hey, if you want to be a part of the shout out and help support what we make here, consider subscribing over on Patreon. It's only $1 or more, depending on how much you want to spend. All right. With that, Micah, give us our closing advice.
The only way to live without failure is to be of no use to anyone.
Talk to you guys next week.
I got a whole website with Brandon Sanderson quotes up here on the side.
All right. That's it.